Oh my god. Well, folks, we welcome you to BRL. It is Tier 1. It is the Canadian Grand Prix. Hope you're all doing well on this evening, afternoon, wherever you are around the world. What is sure to be a fascinating Grand Prix here this evening. Especially with these wet conditions already. We have intermediates on. And it'll be fascinating to see how it all plays out. We will soon to find out if it will be a wet or dry race. We know Canada can be a bit wild like that, but we'll see how things go. And joining me, as always, is the legendary Hey Katra. Katra, Canada, a track that, well, can go either way. Well, probably one way at the moment with looking how many drivers we have, but still, we'll do the best we can, and I feel like we could have a very fascinating Grand Prix here tonight.
Yeah, we can. Canada's been a very interesting race over the course of the weekend already, where we've seen a lot of safety cars, a lot of crashes, a lot of overtakes, and a lot of penalties. So a lot of guys
Oh
can
yeah.
definitely have some fun because it could very well be. We've seen it a couple of races so far, a few late race safety cars. So maybe if it stays dry, which apparently it's supposed to be a wet to dry stint in the race, so that'll be fun.
Wet to dry stint, usually always an interesting one here at Canada. Wet conditions around here can either be disastrous for you or be absolutely beautiful. You have to wait and see. As you said before, penalties around here always are a factor. They're a massive factor around here. You could honestly, you look like that you are a god if you get away with this race with no warnings. I can tell you that right now. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion because it's so easy around here to at least get one warning. But yeah, penalties always a factor around here. Always a huge factor. Always a part where it can call out drivers absolutely massively, and we can see Jack absolutely going to the limits here in these wet conditions here in Canada. And that's another thing around this track as well. Easily getting damage around here can definitely happen if you go a little bit too close to the walls. Yeah, that's a wing change for you. Definitely another thing to put into as a factor here tonight for these drivers here at the moment. But Jack coming around for the first lap, and of course we are in Inter's conditions at the moment, as I'll actually get up the points in a matter of seconds.
Getting the points up,
Yes. This is the part where you fill in for me,
Katra.
I forgot, yeah. By the way, folks, if this could be well, Katra will hopefully still do the yelling for us, but this could be a 118.250. This could be a very well ASMR type stream from my point of view, from my voice point of view, since I'm not doing well at the moment. So, but I'll do the best as I possibly can either way. But our Phoenix in the Ferrari, another one who's actually getting himself ready for a lap. We'll go on board here with Bailey as Perondi goes P2. The championship points, as they stand right now, Chandler, who is not here, 26 points over Skiffer, is that in the pits? I believe so. For Sanchez. Well, no, he had a qualifying bet. See, I remember things, Katra, sometimes. To be honest, if Phantom didn't put that in the chat, I would have had no idea, since I don't see the stewards' inquiries. Chandler, 26 points over Skiffer, because Chandler not here tonight, so Skiffer would love to get the race win here tonight to make the championship even definitely more interesting. Kevin in P3, you got Sanchez P4 and Hoop in P5, Vizzy, Axe, Wexero, Perondi, and then we got Raptor in P10. And then, of course, the Teams Championship, just 6 points between Mercedes and Haas, Alpha P3, Aston Martin P4, and Red Bull P5. So, it's, as always, very close fight in the Constructors at the moment. 6 points between Mercedes and Haas, as Bailey goes P2.
Yeah, we said back at Portimao a few weeks ago that Haas could really be that team that could, step up where Mercedes, could maybe step off of a train, of their success as of late, obviously, because so far every race that Chandler started, he's won, except for that one he's missed a couple of weeks back, and obviously this one now as Kevin goes up to second, by the way. But Haas right now, within that gap, they have a good chance, especially with Skither. I mean, with a grid of 12, I mean, you have a good chance for points, and if there's no Mercs in the race, which right now there's only Jack, there is a decent chance that he could really grab some points in relegation to Mercedes, so that's going to be a really big talking point there. But for the rest, it's for points. Guys like Sanchez, who had a chance to win a week ago, obviously did not go very well. Guys like Alphanesis, who missed. Guys like Deer Hunter, who missed. Guys like Skither, Fern, Crispy. I mean, guys like these guys who really have not been able to capitalize so much entirely from the chaos that was a week ago. Skither was close, but a lot of these guys, they want some points that they lost at Baku.
Yeah, that was an absolutely wild race in Baku. As a 1:18.041 for Jack. He goes P1 here at the moment in the Mercedes. So the Mercedes driver doing quite superbly and doing a good job for the Mercedes team, as it's the only Mercedes in here tonight. Kevin coming up to the end of his lap here in the Alfa Romeo. Of course, Kevin, he'll be another one looking for a good result here tonight to get some points in the championship over Chandler, as he actually takes the last few corners very nicely there, but this is not going to be a fast lap for him. Alphanesis has validated his time. He's in P5 at the moment. D Hunter, one that could come out of nowhere and surprise us all with a podium here tonight with lower drivers, but we'll have to wait and see if that's the case or not. As we see Mumu now coming up to the end of his lap here in the Aston Martin. Another driver who will want to get some, would love to get a good result here tonight as well, that being Mumu. Would love to get some points and get a decent result here in this one.
Yeah, it's going to be crucial for these guys, especially in these races where, I mean, there's not that much of the cars on track, obviously with 8 cars less than full grid, 12 total. A lot of guys could have some chance at points that you would not really have thought so. Spark, Deer Hunter, by the way, up to 6th. But, I mean, it's going to be a real grid changer, obviously, with Bailey now up to 2nd. Remember, he actually won this race a year ago. And the first one
he did?
the first one that actually was not, from penalties, he won this straight on merit. As Fern actually, I believe that is in the pit lane, no? Actually, I don't think that is. That's on track. I think he's crashed on the exit.
That is on track.
14.
Yep, there he is right there. There's the car. As Kevin stays in P3 at the moment. Bailey, look how close he is to Jack here at the moment. 0.011. It's so close between those two at the moment. Between Jack and Bailey here so far. Perondi, of course, in P4 here at the moment. Former champion here in BRL. We'd love to get a good result here tonight in these wet conditions. He was one of those ones who was very good in the wet, on and off, Perondi. So when he was here full time in BRL, we'll see how he goes here tonight. Jack coming up to the end of his lap. Of course, a lot of these drivers probably put a boatload of fuel in, as this is going to be a good lap. Oh, it is 17.1. That is an absolute stormer from Jack there, as Bailey does an even better lap too, but still stays in P2.
Yeah, well, I guess the conditions really didn't dampen Jack's pace. Okay, I'll see myself out. But for the rest of the grid, right now, just kind of feeling out the track, especially Raptor now on an out lap once again. Obviously, he probably does have a lot of fuel in the car, like you said, not too long ago. So these guys really, with 8 minutes and a bit left to go, plenty of time.
Well, everyone has different strategies for a wet qualifying. I know there's a lot of drivers, like myself, if it's a wet qualifying, just put a chuckload of fuel in, do a good 3 or 4 laps, because, you're just going time after time as Bailey goes for a spin. And I don't think he was meant to do that. He actually might have, but it was a good old spin there from Bailey there and a good save. Where is everyone else on track at the moment? Kevin out on track. We've got Mumu, who's validated his lap time here at the moment. And Raptor started off a lap here at the moment. Now, Catra, who is going to take pole? I feel like it's only between two drivers.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to really count out Pirandi. I mean, it's not the same, kind of skill set of game that we had a game ago. Whenever he did end up winning that championship, I mean, he still had a decent amount of pace when come wet time. I mean, for example, I think that one Britain race where we had a bit of rain falling down, he was up there battling the likes of Brian as well. So I mean, it could be very tough to count him out. But Jax looks really quick right now. So, I mean, it's only 3/10 between him and Bailey, and only him and Pirani are separated by 7/10 of a second. So it could still be on the playing field, but I think Jack looks the favorite for it.
Yeah, Jack just looks superb in these conditions, and getting those great laps in. Bailey looks not too bad from behind. We'll see how it plays out as the session continues on. As Raptor now, NVR Raptor now, I should say. He's going to come to the line now, and he will go up in a P6 here in the Alfa Romeo. D-Hunter out on track at the moment. There's only 3 drivers out on circuit at the moment, with 6 minutes to go. I think everyone's going back in, have a refresher, put some fresh inters on, even though it doesn't really matter, but still put some fresh inters on and regenerate themselves for this final bit here in qualifying as Raptor, game says, purple first sector.
Yeah, Raptor's also a guy that could also be pretty quick in the wet, so I mean, he could also be very well on the cards for it. I mean, obviously the time right now is not very representative. He could very well find enough time in the next coming 6 minutes or so. But Skipper and still in the pit lane, haven't set a lap yet. So actually, I believe that is Crispy now coming out. Actually, no, it's Pirandi. So let's see. Pirandi's going to go out again. Pirandi's going to go out again. Reconnaissance. And he's actually between two red cars. A Ferrari and an Alfa.
Yeah, it's while we wait here, I'll just watch to see what Raptor's lap's going to be here. Coming through the last few corners now. Probably one of the toughest parts of the circuit. Let's see what Raptor does here to the line. And it's going to be a P4. Not bad for the Alfa Romeo driver. The Alfa Romeo's 4th and 5th at the moment. Doing quite nicely here for these two guys. And they would love to get a great result and get Alfa Romeo a bit further up in the championship standings. Yeah, Canada, since I believe you said that we're going to have a wet to dry race. Is that correct?
Most likely, yes. Wet start in the first 10 minutes. It should start to clear up.
Well, that's a bit disappointing since Canada's usually dry conditions around here. Canada's usually strategy can be completely anywhere. It's always been like that. But it'll be interesting to see, won't it? To see what everyone's game plan's going to be here when that wet conditions stop. What is everyone going to do? What is everyone going to think of? Are they going to go to the mediums? Are they going to even think about the hard tyres? Which I don't know. Oh, hards. Oh. It's going to be interesting to see how that will play out, especially around here, especially with the likes of safety cars. Even though we've got 12 drivers, the Mr. Safety Car can definitely be a factor to happen, especially, as you said, what we're seeing this weekend so far here in Canada. Safety cars can be a huge factor and can definitely change up the strategy in an instant for these drivers in the race.
I mean, for reference, Tier 2 only had one more, being 13 drivers total. We had 2 safety cars and a VSC, so it very well could
there you go.
Play his hand. So it could happen, very well so. But also for reference, as a little improvement from Jack. Yeah, I swear that was like a 0.1 or 0.01 improvement or something. But that looks exact. Let me look at that actually. So I have that chance. Why did Cookie just join?
Yeah, no, it was by basically we've seen the times there.
1-3. Oh, Pirandi almost lost the car.
And hold on a second, 2 warnings on that lap? Okay. Alright. I don't know what that means. As Bailey
Outlet.
Probably, yeah, okay, yeah, good point. Pirandi out on lap, these drivers with 3 minutes to go here in this session. And still a lot to play out for here to try to see who can try to take pole position here for the Canadian Grand Prix. Skipper out on circuit here in the Haas. He's out there trying to do a lap time, see if he can move his way up the grid with 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Moo Moo now. Not the best run for the last few corners. And let's see what he can do here. He will stay in position number 6 here at the moment. Perondi coming up towards Sydney. So Jack's in the wall. Jack's in the wall. And I don't know if he got damage from that or not. It did hurt him because he would have improved slightly once again. But he did hit the wall. I don't know if he got damage from it. We'll have to wait and see. Here comes Perondi now. He's got D Hunter up ahead. He'll try to see if he can improve on this. Perondi to the line, and he does improve on his time. So Perondi stays third. Bailing now. He will go again. And boy, these drivers absolutely going for it.
Yeah, they are. And right now, I mean, for Perondi, it's obviously not the best of scenarios what happened with him and Deer Hunter, because I mean, obviously he wants Deer to move, but Deer was most likely on a flying lap himself. So I mean, he's not obligated to get off that line. But Perondi actually went provisional purple in the first sector, but didn't have that much of an improvement in the middle sector, so that put him there. A marginal improvement, but he kind of wishes he could have gotten through without hindrance from the Ferrari. But right now, Skither, could he possibly play his hand now going into the chicane? I'm sorry, the hairpin.
Mumu slightly improves on his time as all Skipper has a slight moment there. And Jack's in, yes, so Jack must have got damage, so he is done. Raptor's actually, I believe, crashed. He is out of qualifying. As we'll watch the Haas driver now, Ken Skipper, find something here in terms of time. Let's see. To the line he will come, and he will stay. He'll go to P7, so, but he's got another lap to try to get a bit of time here at the moment. D Hunter now. He improves on time, but he does not improve on position here at the moment. Alphanesis will go for another time run. Here comes Bailey, who is down, way down on his time, and he'll go again, Will Bailey. Rodney getting himself for one final run. As, yeah, we'll get himself ready for one final run. As we'll keep an eye on here on Skipper, who's going to be one of the next ones across the line. He's actually up by 0.6.
Yeah, one thing to touch on, by the way, is Crispy did not come out of the pit lane, so he will actually start down in 12th. His teammate, though, Perondi's going to go on a flying lap again. But now it's going to be who has what in the tank left for this latter half of their laps. This checkered flag flies, and here comes Moo. Actually missed the flag because he pitted. That's why.
No, Moo pitted actually.
I don't know why. Together with
as Bailey retires as well.
Oh,
so Skipper's going to be the first one to do a lap.
That's on track.
Yeah, that was on track. Here comes Skipper now to the line. The Haas driver, he'll go up into P4. Not too bad from the Haas driver there. As here comes Kevin. D Hunter crashes up ahead of him. And here comes Kevin to the line. And he goes P5. Perondi. Actually, no, Alphanesis. Next one here across the line. He's invalidated anyway. And that is a hefty, hefty hit in the wall. Here comes Perondi now. Coming up for his final run. And he would have held his breath there. He's invalidated anyway, but he would have held his breath there and hope that car goes in. So, it's pole for VS Jack. A very good pole position by him. And in the perfect spot for the Mercedes driver here tonight. Bailey in P2, Perondi P3, Skipper P4, Kevin P5, Raptor P6, Moo P7, D Hunter P8, and Alphanesis P9. And Sanchez rounds out the top 10 with Fern and Crispy.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure. Nope, it's actually the second time. Yeah, this is the only race. The first 5 races, there's only been one race where there was not a Mercedes on pole, that being Vizzy a couple of rounds ago out in Portimao. But Jack continues the streak for Mercedes, and hopefully he can turn that pole into a win come the end of this Canadian Grand Prix.
Yeah, we'll see how that all plays out. The battle between Jack and Bailey here tonight. It should be a fascinating battle, and to see how everyone will be in dry conditions as well. Uh, Here in this one, of course, folks. We have, don't forget, next week we have I believe, the British Grand Prix. The British Grand Prix next week here. British Grand Prix, always an interesting one throughout the tiers, and looking forward to that one next week here for BRL. And don't forget, tomorrow night as well, it is ACC around Misano. I will not be there for that. If you have time, tune into our great friend Arabian Killer, who's commentating for the first time. Give him some support, because he's been trying to ask me for tips, and we know, if you know what us league commentators like, we never give tips to anyone.
It's kind of hard to. I mean, it's not because we're, a bunch of.
Hey man, I've said this before. I just go, hey, do your own thing.
Yeah, that's basically what you could do, because everyone has their own. I mean, their own style of commentating, especially as a lead. I mean, you could just pretty much contrast. I mean, maybe a bit ago. I mean, watch the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, then watch maybe the round before that at Portugal. You'd see completely two different styles of lead comms just in the same booth with Mitchie and I. So
I'll go back when it was when we had
Rick.
the great Rick James,
Yeah.
when Rick was here. Rick's a very his style's a very broadcast style, a very different type of style of, host, but he's lead, but he's like a host in a way. The way he commentates, he's like a host of it. Whereas we're like my style's a bit of just, you know what, let's just go crazy and see what the hell happens, and then you actually do research where I don't. you know. So that's the thing, and of course you obviously would see throughout the tiers, throughout all the tiers, everyone's very, very different.
Yeah.
And that's what we like to see. We don't want everyone to be the same now, do we? So, Katra sits, as always, on this stream. We give out who we think's going to win the race. Katra, who do you think's going to win the Canadian Grand Prix?
Yeah, this one's tough. I mean, obviously, what I've seen through.
Well, because Hoop's not here, so that's why it's tough.
It's kind of true. No, I'm kidding. Love you, Hoop. Basically, what I've seen though through the first half of this season, or the first 5 races rather, it's almost the first half. We're almost at round 6 out of the 12 race calendar. Because obviously we had to cut back. There's no more Mexico. That's unfortunate for the Mexicans, especially the drivers. Fern may have not liked it. But we have to move on. But
damn F1 2020.
but I mean, through the first 5 rounds or 4 rounds technically, I've seen the difference of races from Jack. He has a lot of pace. It could very well go well, but also it could not plan out as well. I mean, to his own fault, or maybe not to his something he cannot control out of his wake. But what I have noticed is, he does have a lot of pace. Now, if he can kind of just control that, he could pretty much have a good chance to lead from lights to hopefully flag in his case, because he doesn't want a safety car if that does happen. Even if it does dry out, the guy behind him, Bailey, he's going to be really... We've seen how Bailey drives. He's not aggressive. He's not going to be sending it up your inside at the first given chance. He's going to be methodical. He's going to think it out, and he's going to try to outsmart you. But he also wants a really good finish, because he's finished 8th in a ton of races beforehand. He does not want to finish 8th anymore. I talked to him earlier. He says he just basically doesn't want to finish there. Anything, hopefully he wants a little bit of luck. But then he has Pirani behind him, and you need a lot more than luck to keep him behind. So it's tough for these three. But it's going to take a lot of work to get past Jack.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot to get past Jack here tonight. But we'll see what the difference will be in these dry conditions here in this one. So, and it is still raining out on circuit, so it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out here in this one for 35 laps. And I believe Crispy's actually not in the lobby, so could be 11 car grid here at the moment. The Ferraris gone around with each other. So, we're about to get underway here for 35 laps here at the Canadian Grand Prix. A race that I'm sure will be fascinating to see what goes down here at the moment. Predicted pit stop strategy saying into centres, but of course, as we know, dry conditions will be a part of this race a bit later on. So, wait for what will be third to line up in P11 for the Canadian Grand Prix. It is the 5th round of Breakout Racing League T1, and we're about to get underway for 35 laps here around the Canadian Grand Prix. It's going to be Jack versus Bailey on the front row, and we're racing. It's a great start from Jack. He gets a superb start. Perondi got the best start out of all of them. Superb start by Perondi. He's going to try to get Bailey around the outside if he possibly can. Skipper tries to battle out here with Moo. He stays in P4, but Perondi and Bailey go side by side. Bailey goes absolutely deep, and he needed to, and that keeps him in P2. Superb job. But Bailey has a moment though, and Perondi now is going to try to capitalise on the situation, but Skipper now is coming up into this battle pack as well. There's drama behind. Oh no, there's contact between Skipper and Perondi. Perondi's gone. Oh, it's absolute wild scenes here in Canada at the moment. And wow, what else can you say about that as the two Alfa Romeos go out here for position?
Yeah, it was absolute bedlam, especially in the back and latter half of the stage. I mean, because you see Fern now on Deer Hunter, Skidner on Sanchez. I mean, these guys were going absolutely at it. Sanchez and Fern, now Deer Hunter going at it. Now Alphanesis is there. It's all going on in the back. But Jack has pulled away, and Mumu is now up to third.
Yep, Mumu now up in the third place out of nowhere. And Kevin looking to see if he can close up here at the moment. And I hope so to the chat. They better not let Mumu get a podium. But I don't think it's going to be a problem here because Kevin's going to look for the move here on Mumu if he possibly can. Side by side, these two will go. And Kevin will just get it done. Raptor will try to fight it back, but Mumu's holding on. Mumu's holding on. Kevin needs to do what Bailey did and go deep here. No! As Perondi retires in the pit lane. And, well, who can blame him after that huge incident there between him and Skipper. So now Sanchez out of nowhere has come up into P6. Another one who will try to look for some results here at the moment. He's in P6, third in P7. So this is a big battle pack here at the moment as Jack is 1.5 seconds over Bailey.
Well, back on what I was saying earlier about the picks during the formation lap, I guess Bailey had a little bit more luck. He had a little bit of unfortunate situations with Perondi. So now him being out of the race, Bailey has a 3.5 second gap to Mumu. So he can just look ahead, try to stay with Jack as best he can. He's actually having a little bit of a gap of his own, but these guys now, Raptor and Kevin hounding Mumu. But there's an Aston Martin behind him. They're not letting him go. So it's going to be a little bit of a train behind the Aston Martin. Mumu.
Hello, Arabian in the chat. It's now Kevin now looking all over, trying to look all over, and Sanchez might have a moment there as well because Fern is going to look for the move on him. Oh, it's close as you want to get between those two. They almost got into the back of Raptor, but there's a little bit of a touch between Fern and Sanchez. In these conditions, you don't want to go too crazy here. We saw that just before with Perondi and Skipper, but Mumu's just holding on to this P3 at the moment.
Oh, look at Fern down the inside of Sanchez. That was a bold and optimistic, but he got it to work. So now the Williams of Fern has to go chase after Raptor and Kevin as a yellow flag. And
that's Sanchez.
Bad to worse.
Well, that's not what he wanted after a qualifying ban. And, oh dear, that's just going to hurt him out. It's now Kevin, and it's as close as you want to get. I think there's a little bit of contact there. And look at this camera angle. I haven't seen this camera angle before. It's now Fern now looks for the move here on Raptor. Gets it done. And Kevin now will try to still fight it out here with Mumu. This is an absolute battle here at the moment.
Yes, it is. Because Mumu and Kevin and Raptor were having at it, and then Fern just sending out the inside of Raptor out of nowhere. Grab that position. And Raptor now, and that's, I believe, either have a little bit of damage or obviously that little bit of touch. Oh, here we go again.
So a battle here at the moment. Fern and Kevin. Fern's going to try to look up P for P4. Can he get it done? Oh, it's close as you want to get. And Fern gets it done. Great move by Fern there.
That's a really, really good move from Fern. I mean, not only was it really close and really confrontational between the two, the Williams and the Alfa Romeo, but he made it stick on a part of the track that I really thought was not really the best in this kind of these conditions. But he's on a charge. He's on a charge right now. Williams right now.
Yeah, he's doing superbly, Fern here at the moment, and he's going to try to see if he can get Mumu here in a second and get up into P3. That'd be superb for Fern here at the moment. For third place, the Williams driver. Let's try and see if he can get this job done. The two Alfa Romeos close with each other here at the moment. Kevin and Raptor, they're going to try and see if they can stick with these guys as best as they can. And as Jack now gets another fast lap of the race, he's got 3 seconds over Bailey. And look at third now, closing ever so in here on Mumu. Waiting for the opportunity as he gets very close there.
Yeah, I mean, right now, for guys like Fern, he's trying to make the best he can out of these conditions. The higher he goes, the less people he had to ever take whenever it comes to dry, and that's going to be beneficial, especially if no safety guard does occur. I mean, look at the gap between Mumu and Bailey. It's 6.1 seconds. 6.1 seconds. Almost a little bit more than that right now. And that's going to be crucial to get in that bit of clean air. Fern has shown he has the pace right now. He's gone from all the way outside the top 10 almost on the podium. So I mean, he wants to get that clean air on his Williams. He can definitely make a show out of it.
Fern, I'm sorry that we're just showing this battle, and by the way, Fern has no helmet on my screen. That's just lovely. This is really the big battle on track here at the moment. Everybody on lap 5, and Fern now is just waiting for that right moment to go for this move here on Mumu. And he could try to see if he gets a good run through here and go for it here at turn 1. Oh, close you want to get there. Here comes the Williams. Raptors come into the lane. I don't know if that's damage or not. As, this is close you want to get. Well, DRS is enabled as well. Well, I was about to say, it looked like it has stopped raining. As Fern and Mumu go side by side here. Can the Williams hold on? Well, the Esteban have to give way. He will have to. So, dryers have come on now. Raptor, Crispy, Sanchez, and Skipper.
Unless it dries up in this one lap, I don't actually know if it's ready yet. The track still looks really wet. You can see off the racing line. There's still a decent amount of wetness on the track. You can see on the asphalt. And now Faces and Deer Hunter now going at it. But, I mean, we'll have to just monitor Raptor and Crispy and all those guys and see exactly if it is time. And it does look like it is. Look at the gap that Raptor's now gaining. I think it's time for dries.
Well, when the game says DRS is enabled, absolutely. So, we'll see if Raptor gains anything from this with the guys here. Wait and see how that plays out. So, Jack in, Bailey in, they'll all be in, obviously, especially with DRS being enabled. As Fern in, Mumu in, Kevin in. So, medium tyres all around the board for everybody here at the moment. They all go on the medium tyres, most likely unless someone surprises us here at the moment, but I doubt. Mediums all go on. It'll be mediums for Alpha Nieces and D-Hunter, but where is Raptor? Where is Raptor going to... Is he going to get ahead of Fern? Let's see. Purple, and he's ahead. Raptor. No, he's not. Fern's just got him. Wow. Closest you want to get. And Fern holds on to P3 only just. And by the way, Bailey's down to a second of Jack.
Yes, he is. It may have had a mistake from the Mercedes because he's just not going. Here comes Bailey. And that's going to be for the lead. There's no DRS for the McLaren. It had to have been a mistake for the Mercedes.
Oh, he's struggling. He's struggling. He might have damage. Well, Let's try to see
does.
here. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, he
left front
does.
plate.
He does. That's damage
Oh,
for
no.
Jack. And oh man, he could have done that anywhere, and he's just wow. That's a big moment, and Jack will have to come into the lane, change his wing because wow, that's a shame. As Bailey now will resume the lead, take the lead, and that's a big moment for Bailey here at the moment. I see how Kevin gets close here to Moo Moo. Does Moo Moo defends? Here comes Kevin for the move. Raptor gets the fastest lap of the race. Oh, there was there contact there? I don't know. Kevin went a bit off there as the Moo Moo holds on, but my goodness me, that was a very interesting moment through that corner there between those two.
Yeah, it was. And right now, and if you're in the case of Bailey, because Fern may not even make it to the end of the race, not on tires, but on his personal time. And if that is the case, he has a ton of gap between himself and the Williams. He just does not want a safety car to happen. Raptor grabs a 3-second time penalty right then and there. That now is going to be the next worry for these drivers. Not the conditions, but staying on the track this time and trying not to push the limit. So if that's the case, and if Bailey can stay ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Straight on.
There's contact. Him and Moo Moo. Contact. Oh, that could have been an ugly moment. That could have been a big, ugly moment there between those two. Kevin, luckily for him, he did not get damage or out of the race. But boy, it was a big moment between those two. And Kevin now's going to... Look, I just hope Kevin holds steady after that moment there. Don't get too wild here. As Raptor now's closing in on Fern as well. As Sanchez gets the fastest lap of the race, and he's going to try and see if he can close up on these two up ahead.
Yeah, honestly, for Sanchez, it's a really good recovery after what happened a little bit earlier on when he had that contact with the barrier. But, I mean, for guys like Raptor and Fern right now, they know they need to make the most of the tires now because, I mean, everyone can theoretically make it to the end. It's going to be a little bit of a tall order, but they can make it.
That was... I don't even know what to... Okay, well... obviously, Michael Massey thought that incident was ugly enough to bring out the safety car.
Wow.
I don't even know how to explain what just happened there. Let's say it was ugly. There was contact.
The stream we go.
And it ended badly. that's the only reason. That's the only way I can put that incident. So, safety car's out due to debris on circuit, basically, or the game thinking that D Hunter should have been out then. So, it's our first safety car of the night.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Bailey didn't need because now that gap, at 6.1 seconds, that goes away.
Yeah, goes away now, and that just makes it so much easier now for Fern to get up there, Raptor to get up there, get some guys like Sanchez, Skiffer to get some time back. For these guys coming in on some fresh medium tyres, but for Jack and D-Hunter, it's a wing change here at the moment for these two after that wild incident between those two here in this race. So D-Hunter wing change on, and Bailey will be race leader, and we're only on lap 10 of this Grand Prix.
Yeah, after watching it back, because I didn't even get to see what happened as it happened live, but I know there will be two sides of a story. Bailey's not going to like this regardless, but for Jack and Deere's going to say he didn't leave me enough space. He should have left me more. I mean, the curb is way too wet. I mean, I didn't have anywhere to go. But Jack's also going to say, yeah, but you turned right. Why'd you do that? So, I mean, it's going to be two sides of a story that, well, the stewards will have a fun time deciding that one.
Yes, they will indeed. They'll have a fun time looking back on that one. No doubt about it. The Aston Martin safety car out on circuit. As we're coming towards lap 11 here in this Grand Prix, and that's not good. Alfa has left the session. Hopefully he'll be able to get back in time before this restart gets back underway. So, we've got Bailey P1. This would be great. I was talking to Bailey before the stream, and he would love to get this race result. After so far this season, it's not been that great for the McLaren driver, defending champion, of course. And he'd love to get something out of it here tonight, no doubt about it. Sorry, I just looked. Sorry, I just looked at the Discord. Don't mind me. But yeah, for Bailey, this would be a great confidence booster for him to get this race result here tonight if he can.
And actually, adding on that, I said a little bit earlier on that he had a little bit of fun, getting 8th place as the most sarcastic tone as you can get. He's only finished in 8th place in the races he started in. He didn't show up a week ago. He couldn't race at Baku. But if he had shown up to the race, he's finished 8th. He wants anywhere but 8th. Hopefully, he wants this position which he's at right now, because remember he was the defending race winner of the Canadian Grand Prix a season ago. So if he can do it again, back-to-back seasons, that is a huge confidence booster, not just for Bailey as a driver in this season, but for seasons to come every time he goes to Circuit Gilles-Villeneuve.
Absolutely. That'll be a confidence booster to have, as the Hunt has not gone up to the back, so we're going to go one more time by. Raptor's into the lane. Raptor may come in here for a fresh set of medium tyres. And yes indeed, another fresh set of mediums going for Raptor. He'll be at the back of the pack, but it would be nice to have for him to have those fresh mediums on.
Yeah, I mean, like I said a little bit earlier on, everyone can make it to the end. Now, it's just going to be a case of how much wear will you have at the end. For guys like Raptor, I mean, he's not going to really gain much, just letting out right now. So might as well have a little bit of an advantage on guys like Jack, like Deere, like Skither, Crispy. Even if it goes up maybe to the top half of the field, if it can go on that line, maybe the wear is a little bit higher than expected for these guys. The tires can make it from lap 5. These guys pitted lap 6, lap 7. But the tire wear in which they will finish the race on, how pain will that bring these guys? Because guys like Raptor, who just pitted with those fresher tires, and Deere, and Jack, and Skither, they have a little bit more fresh rubber. And now with the safety car, it may help out even more. So we'll have to see how that plays out for them. But everyone else, this is going to be great for them. Bunch them all up. Not so much for Bailey.
Bailey will get us back underway. It'll be coming towards lap 13 of this Grand Prix. And he'll be looking out for Fern. Fern will, if he sees an opportunity, he'll take it. Got Moo P3, we've got Kevin P4, Sanchez P5. He'd love to get some positions here on this restart. And look out for Raptor with those fresh medium tyres behind. So, about to get underway for restart here at the Canadian Grand Prix. Bailey's just waiting till the right moment, and he goes. So Bailey goes, Moo-Moo's right on the back gear of Fern. Does he go for the move? He's close as you want to get. As Fern goes deep as well. A bit of contact between Moo and Fern as... Oh, sorry, never mind. Forget about what I was about to say there. As Jack's out. What's happened there? I think he's just spun. He has spun out of that corner. We've seen so many drivers do that in the past, as Jack is out of the Grand Prix.
And no safety car crucially, so that's going to hurt his chance, obviously, for these guys. I mean, guys like Bailey is loving this, and that's not good.
Oh, that's a shame for Jack. That's a shame for Jack. Absolutely. And, wow. So, we have, well, 10, but I believe we've only got 8 in the lobby at the moment, so... Lap 13 of 35, as Kevin now closes back in on Moo. They're still going to battle it out again. This could end in tears. Kevin's going to try to look for it here on the outside. It never ends well when we go side by side through here. As Moo not giving him the opportunity to go for this move. But Kevin, he's got the run, but he holds back for now. And he's got Moo's teammate behind him to worry about as well. So that's going to be a factor. Unless Sanchez goes for a spin, which he almost did. But he holds on to it very nicely. And here comes Skiffer as well. Not too far behind P6.
Yeah, right now, Sanchez is absolutely loving the defense from Moo. Kevin, on the other hand, is hating every second of this. Every second he's behind this Aston Martin is another second that he is going to have to try and go and catch up to guys like Fern or Bailey, or maybe even not be a part of that race for the possible win. So Kevin right now just being sandwiched with the Aston Martins, not going to help his race. But Skither is loving this as well, giving them a chance to go catch up with these guys, maybe get back onto the podium, getting a chance for a podium that he may have not had. Well, that's going to have to worry about these three cars in front of him to get there.
Meanwhile, Deer and Raptor go at it. Raptor goes up in a P7 now because Raptor on those fresh set of mediums. Fern is sticking with Bailey at the moment, so Fern's trying to see if he can give it a bit of a fight here. And what has gone down here? There's cars everywhere.
Sanchez broke way too late, hit the back of Skither. He may have had to go over the sausage carriage. I'm sorry, not Skither. Kevin. So now Kevin lost the position, and Sanchez in the pit lane.
Oh dear, that's a shame for him, as Skiffer now is closing up here on Moo for P3. So Sanchez, he's going to have to hope for a miracle if he wants to get back into this race with these drivers. As Skiffer now trying to find his best opportunity here on the Aston Martin if he possibly can. As Kevin now will try to find his way back. Here comes Skiffer now, round the outside. Can he get it done? He has got it done. Skiffer now goes up in a third place. Moo down to fourth.
Well, remember, like I said, it gives Skither a chance to go get on the podium if he can possibly get through the two Astons and the Alpha. Well, look, a lap later, he's already done so. But now it's going to be a fight between Moo and Kevin. This time, the Aston Martin's going to have DRS on the Haas. Maybe he can defend from Kevin this time.
Yeah, Kevin now. Oh, man. Now that battle will rage on. But here comes Moo. Moo's going to look for it. He's got it done. Moo gets it done. Skiffer played very nice there. As now third. Oh, we got a bit close to Bailey. Got a bit close, but we'll keep an eye on that. But we're going to watch this battle here because it could enrage in any moment between these, well, 4, 5, because Deer Hunter's in this as well. As now Skiffer, he's going to have to try to find this move back on Moo again. He's going to have to find his way back. The Haas here at the moment. But just can't find a way by. But if he looks at his mirror, he's got 2 Alfa Romeos just waiting to pounce on the opportunity. Is this going to be a carbon copy? Yes, it is. Skiffer goes back for it.
Remember, Skither actually has that 3-lap fresher mediums compared to Moo. But speaking of hounding an attack, here comes Fern. He's a lot closer. He was a lap ago, but a really nice hit from Bailey. Oh, look at Kevin now.
Kevin, Moo did not have the best exit, and Kevin saw the opportunity for these two are going at it for young and old. Meanwhile, for the lead, let's just keep an eye on this. No, doesn't anything go down there. As Kevin now up in a P4. Oh no, Moo's gone too deep. That's contact in the wall. Oh, goes for a spin. And I don't know if Raptor got caught up with damage. I don't think he did. He might have just got away with it. But Moo around.
And that, just like that, has gone from Aston Martin and a chance with a 3-4 to now a 9-10. They'll still get points if they stay and finish the Grand Prix, but that is a lot less points than they would have gotten. But now it's going to be all for the fight for the lead. It's the closest battle on the track, and it's going to be actually our Alpha Needs and Raptors the closest battle on the track. But right now, for these guys, this is a win compared to the battle for 6 and 7. Just as important for those guys. But for Fern, he wants this. He wants redemption from a week ago on the last lap where it was stripped from him. Now Phoenicius wants 6th.
Well, my screen Alphanese is not even here, so that's probably because Raptor has damage. That's probably what it is. He must. Yes, he does actually. Yeah, he does.
Here comes
you can
Fern.
just
He's
see
a lot
right there, right there. But anyway, we won't worry about that. We'll go back up to this battle for the lead because Fern is absolutely challenging Bailey for this lead here. Absolutely.
That's a little confusing to me. Obviously, Fern does not want to press the issue because these guys are like 4 seconds or so plus up the road. And yes, Raptor does have damage. But Fern went for a spot that really wasn't much gap to, and backed out of it. Obviously, you know, the smart decision there. But if he's really trying to force this move, because he's not been able to get through on Bailey, both have similar amounts of ERS levels with a little bit more power going to the Williams, you would think he would try to go to the inside. But instead, he went to the outside of the wall and Bailey's car, kind of boxing him in. I'll have to try again.
He's got to find his way past as best as he can. Trying to find the opportunity where he can find it. That's what he's got to find right now over Bailey. This is a interesting battle here between these two here at the moment. Here comes Fern now. He's got the run. He's going to take the lead. Fern now goes to the lead. The Williams takes the lead. So Bailey now, what does Bailey do out of all this? And Fern now, race leader. Bailey sits behind and he'll try to stick with him as best as he can on lap 19 of 35 here in this Grand Prix.
Well, now, battery is a lot even compared to these two, compared to a lap or two ago, where it was about 30% in favor of the Williams. Now he used it, got through. Bailey's now going to have to use it to stay with Fern. Fern is absolutely flying. He definitely wants redemption for Baku. He could have a chance to get it, but Bailey wants to get 2 in a row here in Canada. He wants to get a better finish. It's just going to be who can want it more. That's going to be the whole determinant here. Will it be Fern or will it be Bailey? We'll still have around 17-ish laps to go.
Yep, we still got a long way to go in this race, and these two absolutely going to be going for it here at the moment. And just let you know, there we go, folks. 3 warnings for Fern, so basically 2. Bailey has only got 1. So right now, Fern's in the Catbirds area of danger of a penalty, whereas Bailey only 1 warning so far, so that's pretty good for Bailey. All Bailey needs to do is just sit back for a little bit, buy his time. He could get that opportunity on Fern.
Well, obviously the DRS is going to help out a bit. There's 3 DRS zones here at the Circuit de Villeneuve, so he could, utilize that DRS, save his ERS a bit, stay within the reach of the Williams, and hopefully see if he can save his tires a bit more than Fern, because Fern is having to push, trying to get out of that wake of the McLaren, but right now it's just not working as much. I mean, he's better through the first sector, but with the middle sector, it seems they're kind of more so even, and Bailey has the upper hand in the final sector because the DRS applied to the McLaren, so it's really going to be how much can he push Fern, talking about here, to that first sector to get out of the reach of Bailey. Right now through the middle sector, actually, that was in favor of the McLaren there.
Yeah, the McLaren. It's interesting, isn't it? See these guys, the difference is the best out of one part of the track and the other. Interesting how it plays out for these next 16 or so laps. What come up to 15 laps to go it will be here in this Grand Prix for Bailey. And Bailey, if he sees the chance, he'll take it. That's how Bailey rolls, and if he gets this opportunity, he'll find it. But maybe he doesn't want to go for it as early as he wants to. Maybe he'll try to wait a bit to find this opportunity. But Bailey did say he'll try to make things entertaining for us, so he possibly will. Speaking of entertainment, the Aston Martins, they're going side by side, and Sanchez holds on. Gets it done over Mumu here at the moment. Mumu down in P9. Crazily, that spin did not give him any damage at all.
That's fortunate for the Aston Martin there. Mumu now can go try to fight after and go and push the rest of the race without having to worry about that damage. And if it did damage, how does it did occur to the Aston Martin? It appears to be only slight, but right now, when it comes to the rest of the grid, they're all just kind of trying to catch. And that's exactly what Skidler is doing. Oh, Bailey almost lost the car. What a save there. He's been struggling from traction the last couple of laps. The exit of that hairpin. That may be where Fern is going to try to put the hammer down. Trying to get out of that, maybe around 8 tenths or so, going into that hairpin. Make Bailey push a little bit harder. Have a little bit more, dampness on that throttle pedal, on the loud pedal. Make him lose the car, and he may be out of DRS. That's Fern's now biggest worry, is how can he do that?
Well, that's probably the latest screen we've done all race. That's the thing about a battle like this. As Crispy's car that he's not here comes into the pit lane. Obviously, the AI doesn't realise you can make it to the end. That's the thing about these type of battles for the lead. It's, especially with this long way to go, you both aren't going to be pinned again. The story of you both don't have penalties at the moment. The story of how you take the rest of this race. Do you push a bit more? Do you take it a little bit easy? that's the story of it, really. As now Raptor gets a time penalty. And, folks, there, well, the fastest lap of the moment so far, Sanchez, 1:11.090. And then the penalty so far, it's 3 seconds for Deere, 3 seconds for Sanchez, 3 seconds for Moo, and 6 for Raptor here at the moment. But Bailey still close to the back of third as these laps will wind down. And it's going to be the question of when does Bailey seize the opportunity to really go for it here on third if he wants to. Sanchez officially goes up into P6 and Alphanisa's car goes to the pits because once again the AI doesn't realise the situation.
What I've seen actually, Bailey had a lot of an exit. Oh, interesting for Mumu. That's maybe for Softs to get past his lap.
Mediums, he could have put Sauce on, but either way, puts mediums on. But to be honest, probably for Mumu, it's just go to the end. You're going to get points anyway. That's all you can really do. Meanwhile, oh my god, Catra, it's a battle for P8. Alphanixis, oh, he goes in the middle of Crispy. They're inside each other. Oh, this is an entertaining battle. Crispy, oh my goodness me. And can Crispy hold off on the move? Let's go to the lead because third gets a time penalty.
Yeah, that's going to be crucial because Bailey was close enough. He's starting to figure out the traction loss on the exit of turn 11 there on the hairpin. So that is now getting him right there in question with Fern. And Fern knows this. He's trying to use all of the track he can. Obviously, that was that one warning he did not want to get. But now Bailey is going to be in the catbird seat unless he gets a penalty in the next coming laps.
Well, Bailey now has 2 warnings, so...
Exactly.
And now it's going to be the question of can Bailey try to... Oh, Bailey's going to have to take it easy here at the moment. Oh my god, meanwhile, Crispy and Alphanisis are going at it here like hammer and Todd. Can Crispy hold the position? Yes, he can. Oh, I feel like this battle's going to go on for another 11 laps of these two just being inside each other. As we go back up to our leaders. By the way, Skipper's got that margin there between him and the top 2 to 2.6. It was about 4 seconds about 10 laps ago. Now it's 2.6. He could become a factor.
He could. I mean, that's 3 lap fresh for mediums compared to Bailey and Fern. And obviously these guys, I mean, they're using the DRS. They're kind of training off of each other. But they are, in a way, holding each other up. So with that pressure times for Skipper, and obviously the clean air, he can have a chance to overtake these guys if they can get to him. However, the main issue is for Bailey, and it's another dilemma that is inside the head. This is where, I mean, Bailey's, it may not have to worry about that. I think Fern just hit the wall.
Yeah, I think he may have. Or he might have just missed it. He doesn't have visible damage. He doesn't have visible damage, but it could be enough damage to hurt him. Bailey looks for the lead. And Fern, the way he's going at the moment, it looks like he does have slight damage. And around here, even the lightest of damage can hurt your race hugely. But we'll wait and see what Fern does here. See if he does come in. Here in the Williams. And, you see it right there. Bailey just getting the better run. This could be... See what Fern does here. He's getting close again. Wait a minute. Oh my goodness me. That was... well... I tell you this right now. I tell you this right now. Bailey would have been very nervous. And because of that, that's just given Skipper a good second back here on Bailey.
I'm not necessarily sure what the thought process there was with Fern. I mean, obviously, he has to go into the pit lane. But that's also, I don't know. It's a dilemma that, I mean, it's not technically against the rules. But that was rather dangerous.
Look, I'll tell you this right now. We can be, and he can be faithful that Bailey's a very awareness driver and knew that was going to happen.
Very true.
But boy, I'm not calling out names here. I'm not. I'm just saying there'll be some drivers sometimes that may not have realised that was going to happen, and that could have been a big crash. So, luckily, that did not turn out to be a big crash. But now what that means now, because Fern now goes to P6, Third could I think he could still get on the podium here. He's not going to get first or second, but he could still get on the podium. Meanwhile, Sanchez and D Hunter, these two will go ahead here side by side. All third. All D Hunter. D Hunter. Close as you want to get. Oh, this is getting ugly. There's a bit of a touch. There's a bit of a touch between the two. But it ends cleanly. Sanchez P4 as our third is closing up on this battle here for P4 as well, as Skiffer now is under a second of Bailey.
Yeah, that's going to be right now the biggest worry for Bailey is how much faster is Skither with these 3-lap pressure tires. Because, I mean, if he is significantly faster, the straight line speed is, I think, in favor of the Haas, obviously because of the DRS, because now he's within that 1 second. The cornering speed also is most likely in the favor of the Haas. So the pressure tires at 3 laps, it's going to be relatively prominent, especially here at the hairpin. But I think where Bailey has Skither is the ERS. 30% greater distance between the Haas's ERS and the McLaren, so that could very well help in terms of defense for Bailey. He could stay in front, trying to use that ERS when he can tactically for these next 7 laps. But how much is he willing to burn? Because as soon as he burns it, he may not get it back anymore.
No, absolutely not. So, you look at the battery here at the moment between these two. 67 for Bailey, 40 for Skiffer here at the moment. Kevin on 3%. He's absolutely hounding it down on his battery at the moment in P3. Look at Skiffer now. It's now 1:10.562 for third. He's absolutely going at it in terms of pace here at the moment, trying to see if he can get himself up into third place. But this battle for the lead is absolutely on.
Oh, 100%. As you can see, Skither's trying to kind of keep the DRS, Bailey, while also saving fuel, saving ERS, saving tires. He's trying to wait. He's being patient. He knows that if he pushes Bailey too hard, he's going to make a mistake. And if he can push Bailey hard enough where he isn't very comfortable, while also saving tires, saving ERS, saving fuel, and staying with the McLaren, he has a good chance to win this thing. He may actually go for it this coming lap because he waited. You saw it again. Smart, tactical driving.
Meanwhile, third goes up in a P4 over Sanchez, so he's got one more car ahead of him, and then he's clear for that P3. But we're lap 29 to 35. We've got about 7 to go, and this is absolutely on here at the moment. 0.4 the margin, but you can tell you can just see it on screen, the margin right now. Yellow flag, it is for a moo-moo. And boy, if the safety car came out now, that would just completely open this race up hugely. For moo-moo, it's just not been the race for him here at the moment. As we see now, third, in a matter of seconds, he's going to be on Kevin, and he'll pass Kevin here for P3. 0.5 now between Skiffer and Bailey. I don't think it's going to be a story of a pass yet at the moment, but third, he's going to go try to get it done early here on Kevin. Gets it done. Kevin realises that he's not going to really be able to challenge third, so he lets him on by easily. So now third, 12.7 between him and the top two. It'd be an absolute crazy effort if he got up to these two at the end, but I don't think he will. Unless anything goes down here between this top two here at the moment. It's half a second with 6 to go.
What I have noticed after watching the Haas for a bit, Skither, he has actually struggled with a little bit of double shifting. You can see it there. I mean, it's not short shifting because it's happening mid-straightaway. So that could actually be costing him a little bit of time to the McLaren of Bailey here. But he's also, once again, just trying to wait. Look at the ERS gap he has now, 83. And remember, not too long ago, it was 35. So the Haas has done everything right. Skither has done everything perfectly when it comes to saving that ERS and setting himself up. Now it's a matter of if and when, not how. Actually, correction, it's a matter of all three. How, if, and when.
Yeah, that's basically it. It's when are you going to go for it? When are you going to go for it? When are you going to see that opportunity? But then you risk the factor of, is the driver that I passed going to try to attempt for the move back on me? What's going to be the story? When is he going to find that opportunity? coming up to 5 to go. Bailey holding on very nicely with this race here at the moment. You can see their battery. Skipper not using it as much. Bailey using it a slight bit more than Skipper here at the moment. But it's an absolutely interesting battle between the McLaren and the Haas here at the moment. Meanwhile, Sanchez and Kevin, I could tell Kevin was losing some time, especially with Kevin being on 24 lap on mediums and Sanchez only on 16. Sanchez now moves up into P4, but don't forget Sanchez has a time penalty. So Kevin will try to see if he can stick with him. Moomer gets another time penalty. But back up to these leaders. Still close. But look at that. Now 94% battery. Well, 100 now.
The battery is absolutely not in favor of Skither. But what I have noticed, looking at the traction zones, the corner speeds, I think the tire wear for both Bailey and Skither are now actually marginalized. I think it's close between the two, so it's no longer going to be in favor of Skither, because obviously, I mean, whenever he had 14 laps on his tires compared to Bailey's 17, you could see there was probably a prominent distance and difference between those two cars and two tires. Now, I don't think there is much anymore. Now it's going to be how much is he willing to use, that being Skither, and trying to overtake Bailey on a DRS zone. And if he does, where? Because if he uses it in a DRS zone, especially in the middle sector, then he has to worry about 2 more DRS zones that Bailey could fight on. If he does it in the last DRS zone, he may not get there before the line. And if he does it in the middle DRS zone on that main straightaway before the Wall of Champions chicane, can he get the move done? So it's a lot of ifs and hows for the Haas together.
That's basically it. That's the story of it. Can it be an interesting one? With these final remaining laps here to go here at the Canadian Grand Prix. We're closing in on 3 laps to go. By the way, it's 5.9 between third and Skipper. I mean, he's not going to be a factor to get first or second since he's penalty, but boy, if he gets up to them, but well done, good effort there. That shows you how good fresh sauce is around here compared to worn out mediums. But 3 to go, 0.4 between Bailey and Skipper. Bailey, to me, could just hold on, but once again, Skipper still has not used up that battery. He's waiting for the moment to go for it.
And the one thing that Skither has that Bailey doesn't is 1 track limit warning as a buffer. Bailey, if he gets 1, that's a penalty. That's 3 seconds, slam dunk, boom. If Skither gets 1, he has 1 more to lean back on. So that could be playing in the back of Skither's head here. Could he maybe tactically use that warning, get closer, then try to go for the move? Or does he just sit and wait and hope Bailey does, but he can't do it for long because Fern is there. I mean, I don't think he's going to have enough time, but he's here.
I don't think he's going to get them right on the... I don't think he's going to be in back of them in time. He could be on the last lap, who knows. Shout out to Alphanesis and Crispy's AI. They're still battling out hard. They're both inside each other. And Crispy is trying to go for the moon, but he just can't at the moment. Shout out to the Ghost Cars having a battle here in Canada. Hey folks, we only got 10 drivers here, but it's been a interesting race nonetheless. And it's still on between these two for the lead. 3.7 yet. Third is not going to get up to the back of them, but still it's a great effort to get as close as he has at the end of this race. But 2 to go. Where does Skipper go? He's still got 90. He's still got over 100% battery. He's waiting for that final lap.
I think tactically, you start dumping down the main straightaway and the back straightaway with 1 to go.
Look at this back straightaway, because I'm going to see if he uses a bit here on this back straight coming up right now. See if he uses a bit here. Yeah, he's starting to use some. Yeah, I thought he would. I thought he would use some. He could try to look for it at turn 1. He could try to look for it. But we'll see. We'll see. DRS, he's using it. And I think Bailey knows it, because Bailey's dumping his DRS as well. The battle for the lead is going to be on with 1 to go. And these guys don't want to get a warning because it'll hurt them. Here we go. Final lap. Yeah, I think he did too. Skiffer all over the back of the McLaren. Trying to fight his way past if he possibly can. But his best opportunity is probably going to be on the back straight or to the line. We'll have to wait and see how this goes about. If he gets a good few corners here, he could find an opportunity. Let's see. Compared to the McLaren, he's got it. Oh, he didn't have the best exit, did Skiffer, but he's on him. But it's not going to be enough. It's going to be on here in this final DRS between these two. Will Bailey find it? Here we go. Skiffer, is he going to look for it here? The Haas tries to look for it. Can't get it done. Bailey needs a perfect exit here to get the job done, but Skiffer, he's all over him. This could be a battle. This could be a change for the lead on the final lap. Bailey defends. The Haas got the run. Bailey may have no answer for him. He doesn't. It's not going to be enough. Skiffer, it's been a superb drive, a superb strategy. He will win the Canadian Grand Prix in spectacular style. Third P3 in a sensational end to that race. Sanchez P4 and Kevin, it's going to be a P5 for him in what was a spectacular race-ending move.
Yeah, it was. We saw it coming for a while ago. The moment you knew he was going to try that move was the moment he did not use the DRS down that second DRS straight into turn 8. You know, Skither was planning something, and I mean, obviously, you could see how powerful the DRS is on that main straight down into turn 13 all throughout the race. So it was smart, it was tactical, and it was planned, and that's what got Skither the win. And by the way, in every single race this season, if Chandler was there, he's won it. If Chandler wasn't there, Skither came home victorious.
There it is. Yep, that's how it plays out, and that's going to be probably the story of this championship and how it'll go down, really. Wow, oh my goodness me, I've never seen this animation before. Alright, I've never seen that before. The Haas gets the job done. And that, by the way, means the championship is down to just 1 point between him and Chandler here at the moment. So, it is Skiffer on top. He gets the job done. Bailey second. Third in P3. What was a very interesting Grand Prix, no doubt about it. Third gets the fast lap with a 10-1. There we go. That's the Canadian Grand Prix done and dusted. We'll get our top 3 in for podium interviews for what has been an interesting race here tonight. Wow. So, of course, Jack and Parondi DNF. And of course, Moo a lap down in P10 in that battle between Crispy and Alphanesis. Comes down to the millionths of seconds. Oh dear. So, we'll just wait on Bailey. Hopefully he gets in as a matter of seconds. But, I'll let you kick it off, Katra. Don't forget, include your audios, by the way.
Let's see if I can get Bailey in real quick. Apparently he... Alright, so let's go to third. Fern, it was... just one straight word was pace. That's what we've seen throughout the race from you. You went from all the way down outside the top 10 and put on a clinic. Left, right, center, didn't matter. But as soon as that lead came, the battle with Bailey for a while, but then that slight tap of the barrier pretty much unraveled it. But then you had a great showing to get back, and what just a little bit more of time would have done, who knows, but a great move. Great race from you. Walk us through it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I wasn't expecting too much, to be honest. So yeah, I went into the medium tire, expecting it to last through the whole race, as it did, and apparently I got damaged. I actually didn't notice until I start feeling some understeer. I asked my engineer, and yeah, I had damage, so I decided, okay, well, I have to pit then, because I can't stay out like this. I went, of course, into the soft tire with 10 laps to go. Uh, I knew their tires were going to be really dead because they were going, I don't know, around 60% tire wear by that time. So yeah, I knew I was going to catch them fast, and yeah, I felt like I had a lot of pace, and unfortunately I got a pen, which yeah, well, that was just lack of practice, but still a good result, and taking advantage of this well, poor attendance. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, obviously not the end result because obviously a podium, I mean, was almost guaranteed, but the win was the goal. But I mean, it was definitely redemption from a week ago where I was basically giving you on the last possible chance.
Yeah.
But well, let's first
Would
off
having
say,
Yeah, would
how does
having you
that
to
feel?
have a win. Yeah, it feels better. At least I know I just get some points in the championship, and I'm a bit ahead. I was expecting to get 25 points, but unfortunately, yeah, that's happened. The wall and that pin, well, didn't help at all. So yeah, we'll move forward to the next round, and let's see if we can get a better result than this week.
Speaking of the next round, that being Britain, what do you think your chances are there?
Oh well, I didn't know it was Britain, but yeah, I'm not really good at Britain, and considering Chandler and Hoop and Axe are going to be back for next week, well, probably a podium is probably the more you know acceptable of sorry like and the best chance I can just think of. But yeah, third place I will be good for it, but no one knows. For example, in Baku, yeah, everything can happen.
Well, congratulations on the podium. Yeah,
Thank you.
better late than never.
Yeah, exactly.
So then to P2 we go. Bailey, heartbreak. Just utter heartbreak. You did nothing wrong, not a foot wrong the entire race. Almost led basically every single lap apart from the few that Jack led, and then obviously the most crucial final lap. But walk us through what happened that race. Yeah, he had throwing damage. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's a lot better than the past three, which we finished eighth, eighth, eighth. But obviously, the win is what you want. It was so close, but you have a chance to get it a week from now. What do you think you could possibly do out in Britain in Silverstone? Oh my
Okay.
I don't
god.
think your audio is
I
good.
thought that she was on PC.
Yeah,
Um,
good. Okay, let's
uh,
have a little recap real quick
yeah.
about the last question.
Okay, so last question. At the beginning, I was prepared to watch, Jack run away and win the race easily because I had no pace and Moo was being a god and holding everyone up behind him. Um, and then the dry stint came, or was it? And then it became dry. Obviously, Jack got damaged and was very slow at the beginning and ended up DNFing. Um, was it? And then my excuses, they were my throttle input. I was like so nervous, so I had like trash throttle input, and then my chair was moving, so I was uncomfortable the whole race. Those are my excuses. And then yeah, the whole race. It was. It's good to be back on the podium, I guess, but I could have had the win, but nah, it was just a fantastic drive from Skizzer, and I can't really be too mad about it.
Okay, now back to the original question. Dun, dun,
Yeah. Um, what is it? Oh yeah, I like the track for some reason, despite it looking, not the best for racing. I got a podium there on an SRS a couple of weeks ago. Somehow, I don't know. That was also in Nova Scotia. I'm like pretty confident there, I guess you can say, yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations on your second. That's a lot of words.
Yeah.
Well, mate, P1, talk us through that one. I mean, it was a mixed race, but get up there in the end to get that win. We knew you wait for the right moment to get the pass on Bailey, and got the job done. And now, of course, you get 1 point of Chandler in the championship as well. So talk us through that one.
Well, at the start, it was actually really shaky. I got damaged on lap one and then just fell all the way back. And then I got lucky with the safety car. So I was able to catch back up. And then from there, I was just focused on not getting any penalties. So I knew I could keep up with everyone in front of me. And when the second safety car came out, I knew that the mediums would go to the end and that Bailey and Fern would struggle on them because they can only go from like lap 10 or 12. And from then I just knew that I just had to get no pens and just keep it clean. And then on that
And you kept it
last
clean.
lap, I was
Yeah.
really trying to just stay patient, because I knew I could pass Bailey, but I just had to like wait for the right opportunity because I didn't want him to pass me back with DRS, you know? So that was probably the most important thing.
Yeah, you did a superb job with it either way, and getting the right move at the right time. Well done on that, and sneaking away without penalties as well. Both of you and Bailey, that's always a good effort around Canada. Next week, Britain. How are your thoughts going into that race?
Silverstone, it's been a good track for me in the race. I'm always struggle there in qualifying, but hopefully it'll be good for me this time. I'm pretty
Well,
confident there.
well done. Well, that's what you'll be happy for, especially now 1 point within you and Chandler in the championship. So, see how that all pans out. Well done on the race win.
Thank you.
Well, that about does it here for us here, BRLT1, and for this week for the rounds of the Canadian Grand Prix. Join us next week for the British Grand Prix. It's sure to be a fascinating race throughout the tier, so don't forget to join us tomorrow with Arabian Killer for Masato for ACC. I'd like to thank Katra. Thank you all for watching.